Hello and welcome to another episode of The Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Pervert.
And I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous.
And I'm your host, Captain Know-It-All. So, previously on a later episode we did, not long ago, right, I was simply trying to explain about the difference about, pink convertibles and blue convertibles.
Did you?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
But you associating James Bond in it?
Well, yeah, James Bond is a boy or a man and he drives a blue convertible, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's Mattel and we all associate that Ken drives a blue convertible.
Yeah, but Barbie does and all, don't she? Oh, this is all going to get confusing now again. Yeah, but I'm trying to explain by using other examples, aren't I?
You know, I actually sometimes think it's blokes can't have convertibles. I mean, I've got one. No, I've got one. I came out...
That is consumer advice from Jeremy Clarkson from that classic TV program Top Gear.
Yeah, I have a convertible.
We know.
And I think a bloke can drive a convertible, but has to be the right one.
Yes, mine.
No.
Before the TR6, Triumph sports cars had always looked a little bit feminine. They had soft, bosomy curves and hips.
And it's a previous, so you better tell them about, how complicated you were making it with James Bond with the BMW Z3 to Aston Martin. What's not a convertible, but it's got a big hole in the roof.
Well, yeah. So, how we ended that episode was we had to explain about the Aston Martin to my colleague here. What doesn't know bloody old know about bloody James Bond because his mum won't let him watch it back in the days.
Well, I can't help that.
Harold Sakata, the 284-pound wrestling sensation from Hawaii, is heading for a new career. If he passes his screen test, he'll play a murderous muscle man in the new James Bond movie thriller, Goldfinger. And what a screen test it is. Those were 4 blocks of walnut that can support an elephant. Now for footsie. This can really fracture you. Harold's toes hang together, the part is his. Here's Sakata's first scene in Goldfinger. He's mixing it up with Sean Connery, who stars as Special Agent James Bond in the United Artists adventure film. The setting is the U.S. Treasury's gold vault at Fort Knox. It looks like the first round goes to Sakata. With it goes the admiration of youngsters visiting the set.
No matter how strong a man is, a clock can still get the upper hand. But fortunately, there's Vic's Formula 44, the extra strength cough measure. Effective as codeine, but not narcotic. Extra strength to help control the cough before it goes on a rampage.
What was that all about then?
Well, that's Goldfinger, and that was the henchman. He was in the movie. There was a lot of adverts back in the times with loads of advertising with about certain subjects of that movie was in it, and that was meant to be some comical thing about that was just the henchman, but the car. Now that is the main thing, because that car is the most famous car or movie car in the whole wide world. Everybody knows that vehicle.
Well, I know it's Aston Martin, but I didn't really know, with Bond and all that lot.
Oh, come on. When we were all in the playground, we all played with our die-cast cars and all that. Surely you must have noticed that.
Well, yeah, but I never had one.
Well,
you knew it was Bond. Well, yeah, if you look at the box, but I wasn't allowed to have one.
Why was that?
Because my mum didn't want me to associate with anything to do with James Bond.
Right.
Wimbledon Common doesn't seem the likeliest place for car deals, but he was where he said he'd be, and with that sleek grey rocket ship. It began to seem like a very reasonable, straightforward deal. No questions asked, of course. All he'd said on the telephone was that he was going to make me an outstanding, not-to-be-repeated offer. A straight swap of my E-Type for an Aston Martin DB5. Also, he said, the DB5 had some accessories and special gear he thought would appeal to me. He gave me a demonstration of some of these extras, little embellishments that showed that the owner was a real car enthusiast with a taste for individual luxury. For example, that push-button rotating number plate, to make the driver feel completely at home, whether in Britain, Switzerland or France. Then the extending overwinters, back and front. Not exactly for ramming other cars, but for nudging them over a bit when you're short of parking space. Just for a second, I was a bit less sure about those twin Browning machine guns that slid out of the blinker apertures. I didn't see an immediate, everyday use for them, except perhaps for giving the odd traffic warden a quick burst. But I must admit that I was straight away sold on those two very handy gadgets hidden in the rear fins. That funnel for pumping oil under the wheels of those rotten drivers who always stay right on your tail, and the shower of tin tacks from the other side for the really stubborn road hogs. There was another notion I took to, that tyre slasher on the near side rear hub to discipline drivers who sneak into a parking space just ahead of you. And there was that steel screen that rose out of the boot to protect the rear window. Bulletproof, the dealer said amusingly. I thought the radar screen disguised as a radio was rather natty. And it's...
I hope this clip is helpful for you now, Captain Gorgeous.
Well, it's interesting, but is it really explaining why, it's got them gadgets for?
Well, you see what's happening with the straight swap with, E-Type Jag.
Well, yeah.
moment the call could be for me, but whoever it was on the other end seemed to have a message intended just for me. The message was about yet another bit of equipment I'd not yet seen. That hidden drawer under the driver's seat and its contents. Something the caller said I'd better take care of, or they'd be taking care of me. I wonder what they could be talking about. I wonder if I could get my E-Type back.
Last time you didn't really explain much about that finger. What was that about?
Well, it doesn't really get shown much in the movie, and not even these gadgets in the DB5 actually get showed that much, There's some, but not all of them.
Right. So, why has it got gadgets?
Well, it's something to do with MI6, you know, that, you know, it keeps Bond alive, you know, to outwit the bad guys, you know, because he's got this high-tech gadget car, and obviously, I think it's the first ever car what got really noticed for having, you know, them gadgets.
Right.
The James Bond 007 slacks, only at Burton.
The vehicle was so popular in the 60s, everybody wanted a piece of, you know, commercial merchandise to do with that vehicle. It stood out. It was one of the first ever futuristic gadget car.
Yeah, but those Knight Rider.
Well, I would say Knight Rider got the inspiration a little bit from James Bond's car.
Right, but, you know...
Yeah, that's right, Captain Gorgeous. That's what I've been saying all along, right? And before Knight Rider and all that, though, it's James Bond's car what stands out, you know, at the humble beginning. And that's why Bond is so popular.
Well, it's not that popular, because obviously I didn't know all about it.
Oh, because your mum restricted you not to know anything about it.
But not as such.
What happened if she stopped you watching Knight Rider, or didn't watch Knight Rider? You want to know who Knight Rider was, or Kit, or anything, would you?
Well, I don't know.
I do think you do now, because I've let you driven this vehicle on GTA, right? And you must have done GTA, you know, with Franklin, you know, with the DB5, right? Because you know it's a DB5, don't you? You do a corporal down.
Well, yeah. Why am I feel like I get interrogated?
No, we're trying to help you.
Well, yeah, but this is unfair, right? Because I was restricted not to know about the car, or Bond, or anything.
Well, yeah, fair enough, but you're sort of getting the idea that maybe why this car is so popular now, because it was in your face all the time. You couldn't miss anything about this motor car at all, especially in the 60s. We weren't around in the 60s, but in the 70s it was still about. Yeah, especially when you know, when Roger Moore had his car, you know, with the Lotus Esprit. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but now you're going to start all talking about stuff I don't know what you're on about, are you?
Well, no, we'll try to cooperate you in.
Yeah, but he didn't when he first did it. Well, you know, when he did his James Bond special.
What do you mean? We'll try to help you back then.
No, you were. You were babbling on about stuff I didn't even know what you were on about. And another thing, you didn't really explain what I was meant to be doing on that James Bond special.
Why? What was he having you doing then?
Well, he had me driving the DB5, right?
I was thrilled to be working with Sean Connery, to be doing these wonderful locations and this fun script, and I had a great time.
It was in Las Vegas that you had the famous car chase scene.
Yes, that was really interesting.
Yeah, after I'd driven the Aston Martin, he wanted me to drive a red Mustang on 2 wheels.
Oh, did you have him trying to replicate the car chase from Diamonds Forever? Well, yeah, it was called the DB5 versus the Mustang, right? And obviously we know there's a couple of Mustangs with the DB5 in Thunderbolt as well. You know, you got the blue, little baby blue convertible, and the white convertible in Goldfinger, aren't we, as well? Well, yeah.
So you're ignoring me now?
They closed downtown Las Vegas so we could do his car chasing. Sean Connery and I were in a red Mustang.
It's on, you know, you just bloody ignoring me.
Look, Captain Gorgeous, I'm just trying to get some information and work out what little bit you know. Right, he was in the James Bond DB5 versus Mustang, right? just don't want to be politically correct, right? But with us, me and Miss Broker, and we were like explaining stuff to him, all because we were having him trying to replicate that the famous car chase in Diamonds Forever.
And they actually tilted it on its side, and I was in it. It was weird.
You're not telling me it was that weird. I mean, what's the point of driving a vehicle on two wheels? It didn't make sense when Captain Pervert's having me driving a vehicle on two wheels, trying to balance it. It doesn't make sense.
Well, if you've seen the car chase on the movie.
No, like I said, I hadn't seen anything of Bond, and he didn't even explain anything to me.
When you're learning, aren't you?
I think it took several nights to do that. But we didn't get hurt. Well, you say I wasn't scared.
Wait on, wasn't that a police car crashing? That don't make sense.
It does. Well, the thing is, you've seen clips. Technically, you need to see a bit more. Maybe the chase. Yeah, that would help a lot, actually.
Would it?
Well, we'll put the chase on. You might understand it a little bit more better, right?
Listen, you can drop me off at the next corner. This whole thing is getting a little out of hand. No regrets, but when you start stealing moon machines from Willard White, goodbye and good luck.
Just relax. I have a friend named Felix who can fix anything.
Is he married?
There goes that son of a bitchin' saboteur.
Relax, you've got a friend named Felix who can fix anything.
Unfortunately, so can Willard White.
So, James Bond's actually breaking the law. He's getting pulled over then.
Well, obviously, he's getting chased by the police, yes, because in the movie, because he's, you keep telling you he's a spy, isn't he?
Yeah, but why would a spy be creating all this havoc and all this lot? I mean, obviously, it's like Grand Theft Auto or something, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe they could spy, Rockstar Games for that, isn't it cool, getting in police chases and all that lot. Well, I can understand what you're trying to get at that, he's not conspicuous, is he, he's a bit, he gets noticed, does Bond, but this is the point, if you saw the film, as you noticed the police officer mentions he is a saboteur. Well, and that's what spies do, innit? They go in and sabotage stuff.
Oh, right, so he's sabotaging the police force.
Yeah, because obviously, Willard White, he's in charge of Vegas, and you need to see the movie, all of it, really, to understand that. But we don't want to get into the story of it, we'll spoil it if you ever see the movie. But, this is very famous car chases in Bond.
Right, so James Bond's getting chased in a car park now.
Well, and you can see that fight wall where that police car's a hit.
Right, very interesting. The fact you were saying about a fake wall.
Well, you can see, but Bond's like, driving in a car park and the police crash, like they usually do.
They don't do that in real life, though.
But back in the 70s, that's how movies portrayed it, and maybe this is one of the fine examples of what James Bond did.
To give that reputation, then.
Well,
Right, so you were trying to get me to replicate all this, then?
Well, with the Mustang and do this, the iconic stunt, what's going to be coming up now, right?
So this is the big famous car stunt then?
Well, it's one of them, yeah. It's a quite popular stunt you see many times in movies, but yeah, this isn't the one.
Right.
Come in, Larry. Larry? Larry? You get him, Larry? I think Larry got him. Sheriff. Attaboy, Larry. Come in. Larry? Sheriff.
So this is coming up to the iconic, famous James Bond stunt. Not the one where we've seen like Smoking the Bandit as an example when he jumps over the bridge and the police sort of like crash and you know they don't make the jump. No, this is the iconic moment where James Bond puts the vehicle as a scheme on two wheels and goes through an alleyway.
Right.
I wonder if Captain Gorgeous will notice the blunder in it now.
That is a really good theory, yeah. I wonder if he will. What you mean? Oh, right. So the vehicles come out of the alleyway, but I gotta admit there was something which has put me off. I don't know. Wait on. I have to see that again, but so you're saying there was something not right?
Yeah.
So what happens now? Oh, the keep on crashing.
Well, it was back in the 70s, and yeah, it had that reputation for, you know, the 70s police crashing.
Well, yeah, but I'm a bit curious about this mistake I meant to look out for.
Oh, it's a classic blunder, right?
But now you're really getting me confused. Now you're mentioning something else. You told me to analyse the chase. I get the idea that James Bond had a gun two wheels to get away from the police car.
And that's the stunt where it's got the biggest blunder. Did you notice it?
Don't know, because we were talking, I got a little bit distracted. But there was something I got a little bit put off.
Well, you notice our attempt. There's something a bit really wrong.
Well, yeah, because you're an idiot and you're trying to do something and you're getting things wrong there, aren't you?
Well, no,
idiot. Yeah, well, think about it. Right, you've got your car going through an alleyway, and then it comes out on the, two wheels, and then another thing, it comes out the other end like you forgot to set your car right.
Well, that's what they did in the movie, if you didn't notice.
All right.
Well, you've seen it again, so have you noticed the mistake now, Captain Gorgeous?
I think there were a load of people noticed.
You're definitely right about that, Captain Gorgeous. You could see the crowd in the background, and everyone else noticed that, so they thought, we'll have to reshoot this. But in too much hastiness, that this is what caused a blunder. So here's a clip.
The driving seat is down, the French guy does it the other way down, the driving, I said, I don't. So long as they're on two wheels, it's all the same to me, wheelie up or wheelie down.
What does he mean by that, then?
Well, what missed that right? The thing is, the Americans did this stunt, right, the gag, and obviously they filmed the crowd, didn't they? So they did it again, but the American team weren't there, so they had to rely on a French team. And obviously, like he said, he wasn't bothered which way the car was facing, because the French do it the other side of the vehicle, and
but they did it the wrong way round.
The driving seat is down, the French guy does it the other way down, the driving, I said, I don't. So long as they're on two wheels, it's all the same to me, wheelie up or wheelie down.
To this day, every time I see it, my heart goes in my mouth. If you look at it, it's down on one side. But no way could it have turned on the other side.
Right, does that explain that weird bit you did with the cardboard in your version?
Yeah, because they tried to make it, rectify it, and made it worse.
There's only one answer.
When we did the close-ups, we were on a soundstage, but the car still went like this.
And in the middle there, we slipped this shot of the car.
No regrets, but when you start stealing moon machines from Willard White, goodbye and good luck.
So, did I hear that right? You were stealing actually moon machines then?
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. If you don't believe me, we'll show you a clip.
Alright.
So this is the scene where James Bond is helping himself to a moon vehicle.
Right. So, what? He's not on the moon, is he?
Well, it looks like it, but no, technically, no, he's in the, studio thing. Obviously, moon vehicles can crash through walls without a problem.
Right.
So, as you can see now, all security are going to be chasing after that moon vehicle now. And obviously, it's in the desert, so it's meant to be built actually for the job, but technically, that vehicle was a bit of a pain. If you really pay attention, right, because we'll have it all going in different screens, as you can see, you'll see mysterious wheels, because them wheels are off that moon buggy. So when it drove out of shore, you'll see old wheel, because the wheels kept on snapping off. But obviously, on the move, it's meant to be like this. This machine's not, it's built for that terrain. It's meant to go on the moon, isn't it?
Well, yeah, right. So, what is made of this then?
Well, yeah, it's like a fake moon landing or something, isn't it? It really in the movie, it's like another set of people, and it's like a warehouse or something, it's about a satellite that's getting built, and obviously it's like some department must be creating a moon vehicle or something. It don't really explain that well. It's just there. It's a gimmick, really. So you're gonna watch this bit. You see this vehicle. It's gonna go up and do a nice roll over, right? And then you'll be thinking, what's there?
Oh yeah, I see a little wheel. Did that come off from the car?
Well, it'd be a funny wheel, isn't it? No, that's actually literally from that vehicle, the moon buggy or whatever you want to call it, right? But yeah, it came off there.
Right.
So we've got our Bond, right? There he is driving, and obviously you got these,
keep crashing, stupid dog.
Well, yeah, I got to admit, there's a bit of footage of actually the wheel snapping off there.
Oh yeah, I've got you, yeah, I saw it.
Right, so you got James Bond, Salted moon vehicle.
Right, did it break?
Well, no, it's maybe, he just left it on lock control or whatever, and he's nicked off with that, bike and that lot.
Well, yeah. So, what's going to happen now?
Now, you remember that red Mustang and all that lot?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there it is. And then the next thing, they're going to be in the vehicle and driving through Las Vegas. And obviously, it would have cost a fortune. But there's loads of stuff what explains how they made it easy how to get that area, to film there.
They said, whatever you want, guy. And I said, well, I've heard that before. I don't really believe it. Let's try and for size. Could you close downtown Vegas for 5 nights?
So they managed to close down Vegas for 5 nights?
Oh, yeah.
Howard used to occupy that whole top floor of the Desert Inn.
They called him the penthouse. Word has come down from the penthouse that Cubby Broccoli can use anything in any of his hotels or anything else that he might need.
So was it all filmed in Vegas then?
Well, not all of it. I mean, there was some of it in the studio.
Originally, we did that sequence in the studio, and I was actually there in the studio in Los Angeles.
So it was all filmed in Los Angeles then?
Oh yeah, but they've got studios, haven't they? But you always keep it all close together, don't you? It's like me on GTA. It's all, you know, all on one game, isn't it? Well, the footage I'm trying to collect for the James Bond special. I mean, obviously I'm trying to get in with that other one, aren't I?
What?
With the Aston Martin.
In the 25 years and 15 films since he was first licensed to thrill, James Bond has been chased and has narrowly escaped in all kinds of vehicles. But of them all, one has come to symbolize the elegance and expertise of Bond. The Aston Martin DB5, introduced in Goldfinger.
I think all the gadgets are absolutely fascinating. But the clever thing is to put all these gadgets and all these ideas into one car. And that's what makes the thrill of the gadgets.
You've already done that vehicle.
No, I'm not on about the DB5. I want to talk about another Austin.
Now for the silver anniversary Bond film, The Living Daylights. Co-producers Albert Broccoli and Michael Wilson not only have a new Bond in Timothy Dalton, but a brand new Aston Martin as well.
So in my 10-car garage, the James Bond one, I've got maybe the Aston Martin Millennium, and I've been struggling to get on Not So Tame Racing Driver to sort of like do a James Bond challenge from the movie Living Daylights, right? But what scene do I go for? Right.
You do know I haven't seen the movie.
Well, yeah, I know that, Captain Gorgeous, but the thing is, you can bring ideas and stuff.
Right.
Well, I think that's terrific, because that Aston Martin somehow, I think, captured the spirit of the early Bond movies. And I think it's thrilling to have that car back.
You got to realise it is a little bit unfair for Captain Gorgeous to think of stuff like that. Well, no, not exactly. I mean, he might have some ideas, and obviously, with him not knowing a Bond movie as well, he might have some great ideas.
Well, thank you for cooperating me in for that.
Well, you really need to know some information about Bond.
Locations for The Living Daylights. Take the world's most famous secret agent and his new Aston Martin Volante to a frozen lake in the Austrian Alps.
Are you hoping to replicate the moving boathouse scene? Well, you can't do that in the game. Yeah, the shed scene, as I call it, because it is funny though, isn't it?
It looks a bit daft, yeah.
Oh, it gets worse, really, because obviously there's a scene with the magic carpet.
So, I've been watching, you're on about James Bond stealing moon vehicles, and now magic carpets.
Oh, he actually does steal a magic carpet.
You what?
Oh, we've got to play the clip for him, haven't we? Yeah.
So, this is what's happening then? So, is that like a police officer down there?
Oh yeah, it's like James Bond's got his 5-star wanted level again.
Seems to happen a lot with James Bond getting chased by the police, as I'm noticing.
Oh yeah, it does.
So, who's that guy?
Well, we don't actually know, but I think he might sell magic carpets. Yeah, I don't think Bond actually steals it, because he looks like he gives him something, like some money or something.
Must be pennies. Well, I hope you don't try to have me trying to replicate that. That looks stupid.
Well, there's something to try and get ideas, thinking of the movie. You know, we've got a Hercules plane in the game, right? And all thinking, you know, because obviously we're on a convertible subject and we don't think military vehicles are convertibles, but they're, you know, they're always soft tops and that, aren't they?
Right.
So where are you getting at? Well, you know, you got your scene where they drive at the back of the plane, but it's quite easy on the game, isn't it? So I thought more adventurous. Like that scene where the James Bond goes and visits the SES on their rock, where it's played by Jake Longbar and PJ Worth do the most of the parachuting. They did all the parachuting most in all the Bond movies, didn't they? Well, yeah, but you know Bond has his reserve parachute and he uses it in the end where, well, that scene where he parachutes out of the Land Rover. Oh yeah, all thinking something round about that.
So why don't he use that magic carpet then?
Well, no, he's got a parachute, right? So he don't need the you know, we moved on from that, anyhow.
Right, okay. I don't know about Bond, do I? So now he's jumping out of the Land Rover.
Yeah, it's a really good scene, right? So it's the beginning of it, right? The movie, right? And he floats down, and obviously it's Bond, and like you said, your mum, because he's horrible to ladies, but, you know,
well, he's like he's gate crashing that lady's yacht.
Well, yeah. But then he's like, yeah, nicks off with her phone, hangs up on her mate, and, you know,
right.
It did take a lot of engineering to figure out how to do that stunt, didn't they, with the Land Rover being, like, dropped from a helicopter, and they were trying to work out a guy to actually physically parachute out of that vehicle. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at with the game, you know, but not using a Land Rover, but, you know, way back in our days, you know, there were like, you know, Triple X and, but we had Doyle Robinson. Remember Doyle Robinson, right? He did the Grand Canyon stunt and he drove a convertible off the Grand Canyon, didn't he? And I thought, yeah, because he made it was easy access to parachute out of a convertible compared to a normal car. And obviously with Bond, they had to use a dummy. It's a dummy, actually, what was chasing out of that. If it was a real person, they could have got caught up in that vehicle and been obviously killed. But using a simple convertible. Well, yeah, I see where you're getting at. It's like me trying to replicate that episode of The Fall Guy. Well, there's two actually. You know, you got Bale and Bond, and you got Always Say Always, right?
Right, I watched The Fall Guy, you know.
Well, can you remember any of that? Because they had the gadget car.
And they always had convertibles, didn't they? Like, you know, Lee Majors jumping out of them and stuff.
Yeah, that's right, with cliffs and all that lot. There's one with the bus going off the cliff, yeah. And obviously we've got that classic one where you may think that Rockstar Games might have got the idea. You can tell how old they were.
Just stand there after him. He's got our money.
buy my acting, so I'm back to driving.
Oh, isn't this the area that we scouted the other day?
That's right.
Well, it goes nowhere. In fact, we're about on the road right now.
Hang on to your seatbelt.
I knew I should have stayed in school.
Kid, you could get killed.
How in the hell did they do that?
Oh, getting into that? I hope that's me, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Excuse me, I was getting into it. I wanted to know what happened.
Anyhow, this is me in Knight Rider.
Correct. I am not a car. I am the Knight Automated Roving Robot. The first in a bold new experiment. You may call me car. Beach is actually the least remarkable of my functions.
I always keep telling you, Captain Gorgeous, that is not kit. It's car. It's even bloody told you what it is.
No, it ain't. It's kit with a code.
As you can see, terrain doesn't hamper my performance. I am designed for virtually every condition.
Guys, can I see the end of the Fall Guy instead?
No, what do you mean now?
Forget belief systems. Forget the perimeters of rational thinking, as it's so smugly called. Feel, my friend. Feel.
Yeah, we feel like our friend is just an idiot and thinking that your kit instead of that killer car instead.
I have a terrible headache.
Just about to the main floor.
Cold, are we dead?
Well, if we are, it's awful dark where we went.
Get in. Let me show you what I can really do.
Look, Kit, I'm already in. Now I'm getting out now because you're a bit broken, aren't you, Kit?
Nah, it's the car, not Kit, or what?
Look, don't be picking on me, alright?
I'm not picking on you. I mean, you can't do much worse compared to what the Gimp did when I wanted it to do a challenge for me.
Alright, is that what we're finally getting to now, are we?
Well, yeah, I've been trying to educate you about gadgets, haven't I, on vehicles and stuff. And lucky enough, you might remember bits of the Fall Guy. Can you remember the other one?
No, the one where you said the bus.
Yeah, it's a bus and there's you know, cars turning over and all that lot, but as they usually do. But yeah, this is where the Gimp sort of fails its first attempt, so you know, it's a bit rubbish. So yeah, are you sure you can't remember that episode? I mean, the car had a great big giant magnet. Lee Majors used the ejector seat just to jump up into a helicopter, for the helicopter to hover and drop him into another convertible, right? You don't remember any of that then, Captain Gorgeous?
I'm trying.
So we're going to see our Gimp trying to jump off Mount Chiliad on another side of it, and yeah, the Gimp is managed to get the parachute open, but still fails. So, Captain Gorgeous, can you remember, you know, when Howie gets showed all the gadgets and all that lot in the car?
No, I don't.
Oh, shy, man.
Well, I can't help it if I can't remember it, but, you know, another thing, I don't get why you're getting the Gimp doing this, then.
Well, if you think about the Fall Guy, right, what's it known really for?
Well, for stunts.
And there you're covering what James Bond has as well.
I think I know, yeah. Not ladies as such and cars, but stunts as well.
Exactly. So, we've got our Gimp miserably failing all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, but sooner or later, the Gimp finally does one decent run out the Mount Chiliad. its parachute opens very alright, and hopefully we can see where its car's gone, you know.
Right.
So is that it? Are you simply, is this your challenge then? Well, not as that, but yeah, it is like having a not so tame racing driver competing with our other time racing driver, because I think she's time, but obviously she's driving that pink convertible, and if you're comparing how many goes each player has, or whatever, test drivers, you'd be thinking, well, which one's better?
Well, I don't know, we haven't seen what she can do.
Well, we'll speed it up, right, because obviously the game has its many lovely opportunity to get across nearly over the lake, and but yeah, it's done all that fancy flying, but yeah, anyhow, here she is, our little Barbie, I would say personally, because she's driving the test Barbie little car. So she's going to get out, sunset, nice scenery there, and come on, give us a little wave. Yeah, that's the girl. So hopefully, we'll see how many attempts she does and see if she can do the same as the gimp, or hopefully a lot better. So this is her first attempt, and well, it looks like that's gone smoothly. That's all her stunt is meant to be done, and she's sort of trying to focus straight onto the car. Oh, yeah, with like a bit of action of the car getting destroyed. Yeah, that's it. Turn around, let's see that car, getting destroyed. Come on. That's it. Yeah, she's trying to wangle that. Yeah, that's good. That is some good. I like that. Yeah, I think the car's actually stopped now. Oh no, what's she doing? Oh, bloody hell. She's got killed, hasn't she?
Yeah, but she's done it to my eyes.
Yeah, I think she has. So I've got to admit, yeah, she's a lot better jumping out of the vehicles compared to the gimp. So I'm glad I didn't do the aeroplane stunt. I could have done that one where they actually leave the aeroplane as well. Well, yeah, you could have done, but obviously it's a video game. In real life, that is scary, or doing that. But on a video game, it doesn't seem nothing, does it? Well, yeah.
The shot of the Jeep being ejected and landing was done by John Richardson as a model.
The tricky thing was getting it at a predetermined altitude, because it had to be something like 2 feet off the ground, which is very low. When you look at that stuff, incredible shots. We had a little radio-controlled drone parachute connected to a full-size model parachute, which was connected to a little model of the Jeep and the skid. Never seen them done better anywhere.
And then the Jeep landing and driving through the wall and driving away was done full-size in Morocco.
Well, I think you made the sort of a good choice actually, Captain Pervert, because doing stunts with the plane on a video game, would it be any really good challenging or what? I don't really know, but it's not a bad attempt. You're trying to spice something up. Well, thanks.
When we came to the actual shot of where it mounts the ramp, of course it was impossible to do on the real aeroplane. It was just far too difficult and dangerous.
Well, it's not possible because Hercules are not allowed to taxi with their ramps down.
So we got in the largest furniture van that we could find.
We're actually on a truck on the runway, and the Jeep came up behind us, and in it went.
So, Captain Gorgeous, have you actually found this quite interesting to watch then, about all this history about Bond?
Yeah, not bad.
The place, Gibraltar. The movie, The Living Daylights, the 007 adventure. The man,
Bond, James Bond.
In the 25 years since the first James Bond film, Dr. No, 007's assignments have taken him around the world and beyond. Now for the silver anniversary Bond film, co-producers Albert Broccoli and Michael Wilson have chosen spectacular new locales with a brand new Bond, Timothy Dalton with 007. The Living Daylights finds the world's most famous secret agent following smuggled diamonds.
opium, illegal arms shipments, and a gorgeous blonde spy around the globe. Locations for the Living Daylights will take audiences from the deserts of Afghanistan to the frozen Alps, from a concert in Bratislava behind the Iron Curtain to the marketplace of Tangiers, and from the mysterious Rock of Gibraltar to the gadgets in Q's laboratory. After a quarter century of James Bond movies, The Living Daylights proves yet again that nobody does it better than James Bond 007.
So, what do you think of Bond right now, Mr. Captain Gorgeous, then?
Well, I have to be a bit cautious and stuff, especially how my mum thinks of it and all that lot, and especially how Bond treats the ladies and all that lot.
Yeah, but, they all have the different personalities, don't they? Every individual Bond does, I would suppose. Well, yeah, it's a good point of view, to look at it and all that lot. But, yeah, there's a lot more to it, and, just cars and stunts are in it and all that lot.
For 25 years, one of the highlights of the James Bond films has been meeting the newest Bond woman. In The Living Daylights, the newest flame of the world's most famous spy is played by Miriam Dabo.
I'd never dare, never would want to compare myself to any of the other Bond-leading ladies, because I think every leading ladies you've had in the Bond movies have all had their own qualities.
Her list of predecessors is a who's who of movie femme fatales, from villains to victims. The Bond women have always been beautiful and exotic, and Miriam Dabo is no exception.
What are you doing? Stop a bomb.
A former model of French and Dutch descent, she plays Czechoslovakian cellist Kara Milovi, caught in the web of international intrigue, who finds the new 007, Timothy Dalton, irresistible.
All I can think of is how we would be together.
And like the gorgeous women who preceded her, Miriam Dabo is likely to prove irresistible to the world's moviegoers.
All my life I've dreamed of this. It's all like a great adventure, a dream. And I think it's a dream that's come true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more. That's what we keep saying though, Captain Gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few, actors what played even James Bond as well,
Right.
To portray a classic hero, the producers turned to a classically trained actor, Timothy Dalton. A distinguished star of the British stage, international films and television, he brings his own special interpretation to the role of James Bond.
He's a man that fulfills a lot of fantasies, I think probably both male and female. Whether you call them strengths or weaknesses, hard drinking, hard smoking, hard driving, womanizing. If you're working as a secret agent, you can't become emotionally involved. But having set that up, that hard side to the man's character, he then always had a moment of vulnerability when he fell for a woman.
Don't. It's impossible. Knowing you only 2 days, and all I can think of is how we would be together.
Don't think. Just let it happen.
The Living Daylights takes Timothy Dalton across 3 continents and through the twists and turns of a complex tale of international intrigue. His adventures are as imaginative and exotic as any that James Bond has ever faced.
And I'm very, very fond of the Ian Fleming books, and there's a fairly clear understanding to be gained of Bond from those books. The man is a complex man. He's a man who lives very much on the edge of his life, constantly surrounded by the threat of being killed.
Yeah, that's one thing about Timothy Dalton. He was really what got into the James Bond books with, Ian Fleming, what wrote the books. That's some information for you, Captain Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Well, you need to know a little bit about Bond, and not just your own, saying stuff about, how Bond is with ladies, because, you'll establish that if you follow that journey. You want to watch the movies, really.
He agreed that he wanted to play a harder kind of Bond.
Timothy wanted seriously to change the image quite a bit in that, it wasn't necessarily this guy in the tux. He was supposed to be a tougher character.
He was going to be James Bond. No room for laughs and jokes.
I wanted to capture that occasional sense of vulnerability, and I wanted to capture the spirit of Ian Fleming.
We were very happy with that.
So I'm happy at that to end the show on that, on a 007 License to Kill, ending. So, goodbye everybody.